Okay, so before we start any presentation, I want to know by a show of hands, how many of you like to drink?
I know.
Let's drink what?
I think everyone's hand in this room should be up right now. But today we're going to go into the depths of what alcohol is, the meanings of it, and how it affects your body. So Michelle is going to start by giving you some history.
Okay, I have to ask a question first. How many of you like history?
Wait, what?
History.
History?
History.
Okay.
History.
I hope that you have history as your favorite subject, because today I'm going to discuss about the history behind alcohol. Alcohol is an addiction. It is not like drinking regular alcohol, but it is drinking it too much. The ending of ism implies that it is a type of disorder and it relates to being an alcoholic. You depend on the substance and it is very hard to fix. Alcohol represents various cultures depending on how you use it. Alcohol was first seen around the Neolithic period with the caveman and was said to be caused by an addiction with honey and berries. Back then they have very little resource and used what they could. Soon it became an Egyptian symbol for the gods. This can also parallel many other cultures because other religions have gods and use alcohol. Egyptians used other alcohol for relief, medicine, ritual, remuneration, service, and release. Since honey and berries were the ingredients in alcohol, it will be healthy. And alcohol soon became a large part of Christian movement too. Most of Jesus' parables were about wine. He used wine, wineskin, and vines to express spirit. The temperance movement was probably the biggest thing in the history that has to do with alcohol. It takes place in the 19th century and banned alcohol altogether. It was seen as a sin. If you drank it, you were evil. People were not happy as you can imagine. Imagine if alcohol was banned today. So this was a big problem because people felt like their rights were being taken away. It then led to rebellion and upset. Conclusion of the history about alcohol. Addiction and alcoholism are big problems today. The history behind it contributes to this problem.
So alcoholism is a big problem, and as you can see, the history has only contributed to it. I bet a lot of you didn't realize how far alcohol actually went back. It dates back again to the Neolithic period, like 10,000 BC. So, but in order to learn more about alcohol, Tyga is going to tell you what's in it, what it's made up of, and go in depth in what it actually is.
Today I want to talk about the nature and the extent of alcohol. I'd like to start addressing my topic with a question. Which country do you think has the highest consumption of alcohol?
Honduras and Dominican Republic, no? Russia?
No, actually it's Luxembourg and it's followed by Hungary. How about USA? Like any guesses on which?
What percentage?
Yeah.
Which state?
It's like in general. Okay, so USA actually comes to 26 on the list of alcohol consumption. As seen, alcohol consumption rates varies in different regions. For example, in the Eastern Mediterranean regions, drinking rates is very low, and the reason for that is there are a lot of Muslim countries over there. High amounts of alcohol usage are seen in countries that are usually in Europe and in Australia. Also, USA has similar drinking rates. The active drinking age worldwide is between 16 and 64. According to statistics, the average person aged 14 and older drinks 2.18 gallons of alcohol a year. The consumption of huge amounts of alcohol is usually seen between people who are 18 and 24. Teenagers who are less than 18 years old are the ones who are mostly harmed from alcohol usage. They consume a lot of alcohol and in the end injure themselves. The surveys show that more than 50% of the teenagers under 18 years old consume alcohol. However, addiction to alcohol, like meaning alcoholism, is usually seen in people who are older than 20 years old or 20 years old. So everyone who drinks do not considered as alcoholics, but people who become addicted to alcohol in time are alcoholics. People who are alcoholic are dependent to alcohol and cannot resist it and cannot live their lives without it. There are several reasons why people tend to drink, and those reasons are like to look cool, sociability, liking the taste, to get drunk, and to just change their mood and forget about their problems. Alcoholism is seen usually in people who drink in order to change their mood from negative to positive. Alcoholism develops over time. Like after drinking a lot, your body gets used to that alcohol and becomes tolerated to it. Most of the countries have age limitations in order to protect the youth from drinking. And for example, in USA, that age limit is 21. Therefore, people under 21 are not allowed to drink according to the laws. But laws do not stop teenagers, and they still do drink it. And like in usually the countries in Europe, like Turkey, France, and Spain, the age limitation is 18. But there's a common characteristics in all those countries that have age limitations. That is, either the limit is 18 or 21. The teenagers find a way to get alcohol even before they're at the allowed age. So this shows that age limitations do not work. So people who are like drinking alcohol doesn't really know what's inside of it. So I want to talk some about that. The drinks that contain alcohol are usually made either from grains or fruits. The raw materials of beer, vodka, and whiskey are grains. One is made out of grapes. The ingredient that makes people drunk is ethanol, and is very dangerous, causing many diseases. Countries have different methods to actually measure and determine the alcohol rate of a drink. For example, in the US, a standard drink contains 0.6 fluid ounces of alcohol. This is the ounce of alcohol each 250 milliliter beer and 150 milliliter wine has. A shot has 0.5 fluid ounces of alcohol, and you can see over there the actually rates of the alcohol inside of each drink. So to conclude, alcoholism is, in my opinion, is a big problem, and the solutions that were found, like age limitations, do not work, and we should find like further solutions as we will discuss.
Okay, so Tyga just basically described what is in alcohol and how many proofs and how many ounces it has. So maybe next time you all are partying and having a drink, you'll actually think about what you're putting in your body. But in order to discuss statistics and the harms it has on your body and health risks, Yasemin is going to talk about diseases and stuff.
Okay, so I would like to start with a fact. 25 million deaths each year. Yes, this number is the number of people who die every year because of alcohol. One person out of 25 million seems insignificant, but what if that person was you? As popular as alcohol is as a beverage, we cannot ignore the toxic effects it has on our body. Alcohol causes many health risks, disease, and infections that millions are not aware of. So, what in alcohol makes our body systems corrupt? The ingredient that mostly harm our body is ethanol. Ethanol, also known as ethyl alcohol, is also used in thermometers as a solvent and as fuel. It is a central nervous system depressant and has significant psychoactive effects. Basically, ethanol within the human body is converted to acetaldehyde and into acetic acid. The product of these breakdowns are more toxic than ethanol, and this product results with several diseases, including cancer. This is the current situation that the drinking patterns in the world. If you want to take a closer And this is the years, like this is per adult, like over age 15, and the years that the consumption is, as you can see, increase. But right now it's actually in a stable point, but just to like have an idea. And relative risk versus alcohol consumption. As you can see, after 72 grams a day, the risk of getting like the diseases and infections gets higher and higher, and like increases in a very high amount. So now, health risks and diseases. Firstly, I will talk about 10 infectious diseases which like people are not aware of. The first is anemia, which drinking can cause the number of oxygen-carrying red blood cells to be abnormally low. Second is cancer, which like habitual drinking increases the risk of cancer, which many people do not know this. Third one is cardiovascular diseases. Heavy drinking makes platelets more likely to clump together into blood clots, which can lead into heart attacks. Fourth is high blood pressure. Alcohol can disrupt the nervous system, which among other things controls the constriction and dilation of blood vessels in response to stress, temperature, and exertion. Sixth is cirrhosis. Alcohol is toxic to liver cells, and many times when the liver is so heavily scared that it may be unable to function. Sixth is dementia. As people age, their brains shrink, which is often seen normal, but heavy drinking speeds the shrinkage of certain key regions in the brain, resulting in memory loss and other symptoms of dementia. Seizures. Drinking can cause epilepsy and can trigger many seizures. Depression. Commonly known that usually depressed people turn to alcohol in an attempt to self-medicate to ease their emotional pain, but it's wrong. A recent study from New Zealand shows that it is the other way around, where heavily drinking alcohol leads to depression. And ninth, infectious disease. Heavy drinking suppresses the immune system, providing a toehold for infections such as HIV/AIDS. 10th, pancreatitis. In addition to causing stomach irritation, drinking can inflame the pancreas. This disease interferes with the digestive process, causing abdominal pain and persistent diarrhea. So to conclude, in many parts of the world, drinking alcohol is a common feature of everyday life. Nevertheless, the consumption of alcohol carries huge risks of adverse health and social consequences. And lastly, alcohol consumption may even last one's life when it's consumed in large amounts.
Okay. So obviously drinking excessively is very dangerous to your health. It can cause death. And if you do come across one of these illnesses, it's just something you have to deal with. And if you do happen to get sick with one of these diseases, that's just the way it is. But another thing you have to deal with are the criminal consequences of alcohol.